Atomic structure and bonding. Everything that we can touch or feel is made of atoms. There are 118 types of atom, known as elements. Each element is represented by a symbol, which has one or two letters. These elements are arranged in the periodic table according to their increasing mass. We start with hydrogen, which is the lightest element, and build up from there. They are also arranged by their properties. Elements with similar properties are arranged in groups. A group is a column of the periodic table. A row of the periodic table is called a period. What is an atom made up of? There are three parts to an atom: protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons are positively charged. We say that they have a charge of +1 or +1. Neutrons have no charge. They are neutral. Electrons are negatively charged. We say that they have a charge of -1 or -1. The protons and neutrons are found in the centre of the atom. Together, they make the nucleus. The electrons live in shells or orbitals around the outside of the atom. The element type is determined by the number of protons an atom has. This is called the atomic number. For example, the atomic number of hydrogen is 1. A hydrogen atom always has 1 proton. An atom with 6 protons is going to be a carbon. Carbon has an atomic number 6. An atom that has 79 protons is gold. The atomic number of gold is 79. An atom is said to be neutral if it is neither positively charged nor negatively charged. If an atom is neutral, it must have the same number of electrons as protons. For example, a carbon atom has 6 protons. For the carbon atom to be neutral, it must have 6 electrons. What about neutrons? The number of neutrons can vary for atoms. It is usually similar to the number of protons. For example, a carbon atom. Carbon has an atomic number of 6, so it has 6 protons. If it is neutral, it must have 6 electrons. Most commonly, carbon atoms will have 6 neutrons. A very small percentage of carbon atoms have 7 neutrons. However, these are still carbon atoms because it is the number of protons that determines what type of atom it is. Atoms with the same number of protons but different number of neutrons are called isotopes. Another example. Hydrogen has the atomic number 1. It has 1 proton. To be a neutral atom, it must have 1 electron. Most hydrogen atoms have no neutrons. However, a very small percentage of hydrogen atoms have 1 neutron. How much does an atom weigh? We use the mass number to denote this. A proton is said to have a mass of 1. This is measured in atomic units. A neutron also has a mass of 1. However, electrons are much smaller, and compared to protons and neutrons, the mass is negligible. That is, we can ignore it. The mass number is the number of protons, that is, the atomic number, plus the number of neutrons. For example, a carbon atom, which has the symbol C, has 6 protons. It also has 6 neutrons. The mass number will therefore be 6 plus 6 equal 12. We can add these details to the symbol for the element. The atomic number is written at the bottom left-hand side. The mass number is written at the top left-hand side. This is known as nuclide notation. Let's go back to our example. The symbol for carbon is C. Carbon has the atomic number 6. It has 6 protons. We add this number to the bottom left-hand side. We calculated that the mass number was 12. We write this at the top left-hand side. Let's look at another isotope of carbon. This carbon atom still has 6 protons, but it has 7 neutrons. Adding these together, the mass number will be 13. Now let's add these numbers to the atomic symbol for the nuclide notation. The atomic number, the number of protons, is equal to 6. This goes at the bottom left. The mass number, 13, goes at the top left. Most atoms have more than one isotope, and some have as many as 10. The relative atomic mass is the average mass number of all the isotopes of a single element, taking into account the abundance of each isotope, that is, how common they are. For example, the relative atomic mass of carbon is 12.011. Where does this number come from? It is clearly not possible to have a fraction of a number of neutrons in an atom. The relative atomic mass of carbon is very close to 12 because around 99% of carbon atoms have a mass number of 12. Only around 1% of carbon atoms have a mass number of 13. We can do a calculation to find out the relative atomic mass. The percentage of carbon atoms with a mass number of 12 is 98.9%. Written as a number, this is 0.989. The percentage of carbon atoms with a mass number of 13 is 1.1%. Written as a number, this is 0.011. To calculate the relative atomic mass, multiply the mass number by the percentage written as a decimal for each of the isotopes, and then add them together. So that is 12 times 0.989 plus 13 times 0.011. That will give us the relative atomic mass of carbon of 12.011.